Hi, I'm Liana from the Solar Outpost, and today we have Lockie and we're going to be doing some hamstring work. So hamstrings are great because they are the extensors for the knee, so you use them when you're running, walking, all that kind of jazz. So I'm just going to start with a warm-up stroke, so just getting to the top of the hamstring so you'll feel it. It's like that sit bone, which is your tuberosity. And then we're just going to hold it, give it a moment, and then start to do a warm-up stroke down that hamstring. So the hamstrings have four main components. We have the biceps, femoris, long head, and then short head. And then we also have semitendinosus and semimembranosus. And three of those four connect up to the tuberosity, and then the short head of the bicep femoris starts down more in the middle on the femur. So if you have, or if anyone that you know has some tight hamstrings, this is something that you could be looking at doing or receiving when you come in for a treatment with me. So we've warmed that up, and then we're going to start getting into those deeper layers. So I'm going to pop a little bit of wax on my elbow and forearm, and we're going to again get up into that tuberosity point. Just hold it there for a moment, and then we're going to really just allow it to sink in, and then do some deeper work in here. So usually you start to feel those ropiness, or like the hardness of the tissue. So they're the areas that we want to be focusing on. And then once we find it and feel like we're pretty close to that bone level and we've sunken down a lot, then we can start going down the hamstrings. So because the attachment points for all of them but the short head of the bicep femoris is kind of at the tuberosity, and they connect down all around the knee area. Kind of want to split the two, so you've got your semimembranosus and your semitendinosus on one side, which is like more medial, and then your long and short head bicep femoris on the outside. So kind of like split in the middle there, and then try and get down to that femur level where those attachment points are, especially for that short head. We're going to start to move through. There we go, find something in there. How's that going to look? Yep, pretty tender. So with the femur itself, sometimes it can be a little bit deceiving because it's actually a lot more medial than what you'd think it is. So trying just to explore around and finding where those muscles kind of separate. So you might find that you are more medial than normal, than you'd think. So we're just gonna keep going through that. And again, in a normal treatment, I'd be going a lot slower through this stroke, but just because a bit of a time limit, time schedule here, we're just going to continue that stroke through. And then as we start to get lower on that hamstring, we want to start, you're either going to go out laterally or out medially to finish off that stroke there. Perfect. We're going to get into the tuberosity, so where there's a lot of attachment points from the hamstrings. So we're going to get our elbow and just place it. If you we just want to find that sit bone, and then you'll feel a ropiness to it as well. So just want to hold it there. I tend to hook under first, and then once you're on it, start to push up towards the head of the table. Is that on it there, Lock? Yeah. Yeah, so the sit bone's actually quite medial, so yeah, just be aware of that. So if you're kind of going more into the middle of the butt cheek and you're not getting it, just go just a little bit more medial. And let's slowly come out of there and hook back up underneath there, and just allowing that to melt. And then we're going to slowly push up into there. So if people have really tightened their hamstrings, this spot can be pretty tight for them. So just working with them, allowing them to breathe through it, and then just keep going deeper into it. They will get a lot of relief from this. Great, so I'm going to slowly come out of that one. So that there is something that that I might be looking at doing for you if you've got some tight hamstrings. Thanks.